Aloha, this is Jonathan, and I am going to do a quick little run through of several Kickstarter decks that I got that I absolutely adore. So, well, mostly adore. I'm going to start with this one. It's the Madame Clara Sees All Tarot, which, like, I can't say enough about Madame Clara's products. I also have the 5-cent Tarot, which I did not get Kickstarter, the first edition, but I got it through Etsy, and I did back the second edition of 5-cent Tarot. So this came with this lovely bag, and it came with this great reading cloth. I'm not going to unfold it all the way, but just show you a little bit here. There we go. And this is the Madame Clara Fate, Destiny, Fortune. Seek answers and insights. Ask Madame Clara a question. And this is the second edition. And I believe they had a third edition Kickstarter as well. And as far as I know, all editions are sold out currently. The second edition that I have, the backs are gold and black. And I believe the third edition, there's red in there. So I'm just going to show you a few because I have a few decks I want to show you guys. So one of the things I really love about this deck is it does have a linen finish on this side. This side is just smooth, but the fronts of the cards have a linen finish. You can feel the texture, and I really love shuffling this deck. It's amazing. So just to show you a few, like Three of Swords. One of the things I love about this deck is it has these little ribbons here, and it says one thing if it's upright, and it says something different if it's reversed. So just an example, Three of Swords. Pain and sorrow today brings great strength tomorrow is the upright saying. And then reversed, it says, time to forgive and release the pain you can leave in the past. So it's a great little deck for that kind of stuff. Here's Wheel of Fortune. Upright. What goes around comes around, so good begets good. And then if it's reversed, it says, avoid the risk and do not trust luck to win the day. Let's see any other. So this is the Queen of Pentacles, just to show you a few. I'm not going to show you the whole deck. And then it does have a few extra cards in here. So here we have the Eye of Providence. See that red in the eye? In the third edition, that red is in the back here with the gold and black. So the Eye of Providence. Mind the watchful one who sees all our thoughts and deeds is upright. And then in reversed, have faith, the universe has the divine power to set things right. So it's a great little deck. I mean, they only use primary colors for the images. So let me see. Here's the Fool. Ace of Pentacles. Let's see if there's any other majors that you can see here. Here's the Chariot. Lots of birds screaming outside right now. I really love the artwork on this deck. It's simplistic, but not too simplistic, and they only use 3 colors in every image. So just a couple more and then I'll move on. Here's the moon, the hermit. So yeah, it's a great deck, great quality cardstock. Like I said, it's smooth on the back and linen finish on the front, so it's glossy, really glossy. And I mean, there's some gloss, but it's not as glossy as the back. That's a wonderful deck that I really do love, and I love reading with it. The next deck I backed. So I'm saving the first deck I backed for the end because it's not technically a tarot deck. The next deck I backed was the Joe Phillips Divine Diversity Tarot. And it was great. Two-part box. It's not super thick, but it's a decent sized book, and each card has a page with keywords and reverse keywords. And it's not really it doesn't really, there's like a one-page introduction, and then the rest of the book is just the write-ups. There's no spreads or anything. The very last page is King of Wands, and it's 80 pages total. This is an interesting deck because Joe Phillips is a comic book artist, so I like to think of this as the comic book tarot. So the cards are pretty big. That's the back, and then it's got blingy sides, very golden sides. And this deck has these are not in order, but the Devil and the Lover cards have doubles. So let me just see if I can't find. I should have organized this a little better. Oh well. But like I said, this is definitely a how do I put this? It's a beautiful people deck. It's what. Okay. Well, I can't find the Lovers, but I'll show you the Devil. So there's two versions of the Devil card. There's the typical. Oh, sorry. There is the typical male and female Devil. And then there's a gay couple Devil. And the same thing in the Lovers card. Then just to show you a few more, like here's the Magician. The Hanged Man. So all the figures are like body perfect. And as much as I love this deck, the cards for me personally are a little too big for my hands. So, I mean, I think this would be great as like an altar piece kind of thing, like showing it on your altar. I must say I really love this death card though. This is probably one of my favorite death cards of all time. They're just bowing to each other. It's great. Couple of the court, or one of the court cards, we got the Queen of Swords here. Love the Asian theme. So there is some diversity, kinda. But like, and there's, here's the Hermit, who's got some gray hairs, but I don't know any 60-year-old that's that ripped. It's definitely a body perfect kind of deck. I mean, I love the deck, don't get me wrong, the artwork is stunning, but it's the comic book version of the tarot, right? It's what if the tarot cards were a comic book character? the Sun. I do love this Judgment card, I must say, with Anubis. But again, you know, there's Anubis with the six-pack and the bulging arms and pecs. So it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's just a little comic booky. I know I keep saying that, but it just, I just get this vibe of like superheroes. Like even the ace, here's the Ace of Wands, there's a superhero in it. It's King of Cups. Makes me think, oh, is that Aquaman? So, and I love the deck. I'm a little put off by the perfection of everybody in the deck. I mean, I've used it for readings, so it's not like I can't use it. It's just, I think I'd prefer to use it for spell work, like, you know, tarot spells. But the next one is the Slow Tarot, also a 2-part box. And this is the first edition Tarot, and I got copy number 639. Lacey signed it herself, Lacey Bryant. And then this also comes with a guidebook, but it's pretty thin, but like I think you might need a magnifying glass to read everything in there. This is the backs, pretty good cardstock. Amazing imagery. Like here's the 8 of Cups. I don't want to do minors. So this has an extra card, number 22, which is Atonement. Here's the Chariot. And I think this actually has a linen finish. Feels like it. So here's the World. Love how it's the whole solar system as a model. It's a great little deck. Knight of Cups. Page of Cups. The imagery is amazing because this was actually set up as a art gallery showing. So each one of these was a oil painting. That's the great Page of Wands. It doesn't say, but it's obvious what it is. I love the little salamander on it. The only thing that I have a little bit of a problem with, like here's Judgment, you're judging yourself in the mirror. The only problem I have with this deck is that here's Strength. It does have diversity. I mean, here's the Knight of Coins. But the only plus-sized person in the whole deck is on the Temptation card. And I don't know, that kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, just because it's like, well, if it wasn't the only plus size person, that'd be fine, but everyone else is like slender. Like there is no one else that you would consider plus sized. So yeah, everyone's pretty much the same. And the other thing, I don't know why, but this Empress, the Empress card, the Empress, she's got such a sour look on her face, and that doesn't, I don't know. I like the deck. It's just there's certain aspects of it that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That's the only way to describe it. I mean, some things are amazing. I mean, I do like some of the art. Like that King of Swords is amazing. And I really love the Hermit in this deck. It's a great Hermit card. And I probably should use it more, but I don't know. There's just something about this deck that I hesitate a lot instead of using it. Moving on, we have my next one that I backed was the Spacious Tarot, and that's a flip top box. I still need to put the deck in its bag. But that one was great. I mean, I love those great stickers it comes with. And the guidebook is amazingly thick for a little book. And it's quite the write-up for each one. And I don't know if you can see on the sides there, but it's majors, minors. So it's majors, then pentacles, swords, wands. So if you're looking for something specific, you can just flip. Oh wait, I'm looking for wands. Okay, here we go. And then the minors are only 1 page per card, whereas the majors have 1.5 to 2 per card. And this deck, I love this deck. I really do. The back of the card is amazing. Cardstock is amazing. And I love that it's matte. The other thing I love about the deck is that there's no people in it. And then the other change, let's see, they changed the quartz into child instead of page, explorer instead of knight, guardian in place of queen, and elder in place of king. So instead of king of cups, you have elder of cups. You have ace of swords. Guardians of Cups. Let's see, let's find some majors. I love that these cards put you in the place of the archetype instead of showing the archetype. So you're seeing what the Fool would see. You're seeing what the Magician sees. You're seeing what the High Priestess sees. The whole universe inside of a single little shell. You see what the Empress sees. I love this Emperor card. Just the rows of poppies. This is one of my favorite Hierophant cards. So I'm not going to do a full walkthrough, even though I probably could. These are just absolutely amazing. Like this Hermit, just a lantern in the middle of the woods. So if you get a chance to order this, I can't sing its praises enough. This is probably one of my favorite decks of all time. Just because it puts you in the shoes of the archetype. So last but not least, because it was my very, very first deck that I ever got off Kickstarter, it's by Ian Daniels, the same guy who did Tarot of the Vampires with the Y, and it's my Ferry Enchanters Oracle. And this is the back of the box. And again, it's a 2-parter with those little finger grooves, which I love those. Good, solid construction, and I love the imagery of the black and white roses inside. It comes with probably one of the best little books that I've ever seen with an oracle. It goes into so much detail about so many things. Like talking about the hedge witch, talking about fairies, talking about enchantments, talking about elements, talking about witchcraft, alchemy, bewitching, magic numbers, perfume garden, divination, fairy runes, magic charms, book of shadows, and then it gets into the cards. So, and there's some gorgeous artwork in here as well. So, and like I said, it's dense, lots of information in here. And one of the things I really love about it is they have, where is it? There's a little chart that lets you look up which, like here, they talk about like moon magic and what to do with certain moon phases and nature spirits, but they also have this little chart here so you can see which of the cards belong to your sun sign, moon sign, and ascendant. And then from that you get to, well, I'll show you the cards because I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but it's a great system. Yeah, see that little details all through there. I love boxes that have those little details. It's etched in like a rose gold, and then each card has the image of it's basically Welsh, Celtic gods and mythological heroes. So they have the image on the front of the card, and then the back of the card, it has the name, has the, like, so if you're using it for divination, this little bit is the message. And then if you want to use, the deck is meant as like a book of shadows. So you pull out 3 cards, and then you can mix and match the words to create the spell you want. And then you have runes that you can mingle into a new rune, which I should have grabbed my book of runes, because I've been doing this a lot lately, where I get 3 cards, I mingle it into a spell, and then they also have like a list of ingredients for doing enchanting. So it has the color, the crystal, the time, the tree or plant, the land animal, the bird. I think they all have a bird. It's a land animal and a bird, I believe. And then the object and place. So you can mix and match different like ingredients to create spells, to create enchantments, to create charms if you want to like mix stuff together to make a charm. And so it is useful for divination, but it's so much more. And the artwork is just stunning. So this is Mob, and then Ignite Spiritual Creativity. So just as an example, I'm just going to grab 3 random ones here. The artwork is just stunning. So let's see if we. How would I put this together? So I grabbed some random ones. So I could use. So this one says Banish Negative Nemesis. This is Ignite Spiritual Creativity, and this is Control Virtuous Quest. So if you mix it together, you take the first word, second word, third word. So if I had done that in these particular orders, it'd be Banish Spiritual Quest, which I don't know if I'd really want to do that. So I can always mix things around, right? Ignite Virtuous Nemesis. So then you can commingle those runes to create your own sigil, and then use the ingredients to create your own spell. and it gives you like a time and a place and ingredients to mix it all together. And it's, I forget how many cards are in here, but there's also the images are just stunning. I mean, Modron, font, and cardstock's pretty nice too. Oh, sorry. Trying not to get the glare because they are pretty shiny. But these are all Welsh gods and heroes. And they all have 3 words that you can mingle with the other cards, or just, use the one. Like if you want to work with Cernunnos, activate concentrated magic, you have everything you need here, the sigil and all the ingredients in place. Like, go to the forest. So, this, I'm so glad I backed this. This was my first Kickstarter that I backed. Actually, technically second Kickstarter that I backed. And it's a Book of Shadows in deck form. And it's just stunning. And he came out with a second Kickstarter, and that was the Ferry Enchanters Grimoire, and it went into a lot more depth. Like, each of these has its own page for the image, and then the next page is the write-up about who the person is, like the story behind it. And then it has a lot of this information, but in bigger form, so it's a little easier to use some of those. But you have everything you need right here in this thick little book, and the cards, the combination. So I don't even know if this is available. You can ask Ian Daniels, and there is a Ferry Enchanters Facebook group as well that I'm a part of. And it's not as active as when these first came out, but there's still people posting on there and sharing stuff. So I wasn't going to go through every card of the deck, but it's just, I don't know, this deck is so stunning. I love it so much. And so the sun, the moon, and the ascending cards is like, you find, okay, this is your sun card, and this is your moon card, or whatever. And what it means is that those things that are on the back, that is what your most potent magic is. And that is what you are able to do the easiest. I mean, you can use any of these. This is an extra card. It's called if you notice, it has that same flower motif on the top and bottom instead of just a full image. And that is the beloved. It's supposed to represent you or the person who you are casting on or casting for. So these, like I said, they're just stunning, stunning images. The Morrigan. Meriden, as we call Merlin. Lou. Bloodwin. Just stunning, stunning images. I think I am going through the whole deck. This is actually one of my cards. So, these 3 are my sun, moon, and ascending cards. So that's it as far as Kickstarters I have received. It's not the only ones I've backed, of course. The next one I expect to get to me, which I'll do an unboxing for, is which one's coming? I think it's the Titanic Tarot. So that'll be interesting because it comes in a wooden box with a ticket for one of the people who was actually on the Titanic. That's going to be a very intriguing tarot deck to go through, I think. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick run through of some of the decks I backed on Kickstarter. Kickstarter also has an app which is very dangerous because I have backed far too many through it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, aloha!